It's Angie with News OK. I'm here with John Greiner, State Capitol reporter. Now tell me about what happened today. The bipartisan forum has ended, and we heard a lot from different national leaders and political leaders. Tell me, in your opinion, what happened today?
Well, what happened was you had a panel of people who are at least still well-known regionally and some nationally. Some of them are still in office, talking about some major concerns they have about the country and the fact that the issues don't get discussed much by the candidates running for president, and the fact that partisanship, the political bickering of the past many years, has begun to create gridlocks in this country. And what they did is they made a statement nationally to the presidential candidates. Now the next thing is to see if the candidates say anything about it, try to deal with it a little bit. And they also asked for just the citizens, especially the middle Americans, who get edged out sometimes by fringe groups on both sides, to start asking candidates these questions. It was a panel put together. Many of them are old colleagues of OU President David Boren, and some are colleagues and friends of former Georgia Senator Sam Nunn. And Boren and Nunn were friends and colleagues in the United States Senate when they served there. And they made good points. They talked a little bit about the problem with too much money being spent on candidates. They talked about people not trying to work together regardless of party to solve some problems. Sometimes there's too much gotcha in politics, and I don't know how you get that out, but it was a group that, you know, I mean, they've been around government, and they've been in the Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives when they had to work with both sides to get something done. And they're genuinely concerned. And like I said, the next thing is what will happen, because this was between the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary. And in the Iowa caucuses, voters there picked people who said they were for change and discussed some issues. So that's what happened today, and it was an impressive list. You had the mayor of New York, who is a potential independent candidate for president, although he may not ever be. And he said today, I'm not a candidate. But you had, former Virginia governor and former U.S. Senator Charles Robb, who is the son-in-law of the late President Lyndon B. Johnson. You had Bill Brock, a former Republican member of the Senate and a former Republican chairman, who said a lot of campaigns are beginning to kind of move away from the parties. And so he didn't want to bash political parties altogether. But all in all, it was very interesting to anybody who wants to hear about the issues. And of course, they said these issues are affecting America, and things from the deficit, things from the lack of approval of America in the world, something that used to be unheard of, at least in the western side of the world, and things such as that.
Perfect. Any surprises or anything that you were expecting to hear that you didn't?
Well, I wanted them to say what they might do if the presidential candidates don't do anything about what they're talking about. But the questioning was limited. It's just someone else got a question in on that, and the answer, because when I spoke with President Boren about a week ago, he said the kind of situation that's being created could maybe in this time cause a third-party candidate or an independent candidate to emerge. He said usually that someone as candidate like that won't do well, but he said that could happen. And he also said he is not a candidate for anything.